Welcome back, guys. We are still in Glenumbra. It's the history of the Fighters Guild Part 2. It's the lore book just outside Camlorn. Daenerys Vess, the Iron, initially believed that the entirety of that order would be composed of Akaviri. This belief of his is not disputed by any historian, though his motivation is often debated. The traditional simple explanation is that he knew his countrymen well, trusted them, and felt that their tradition of fighting for profit would be of use. Others believe, with reason, that he and the potentate sought to use the order to effectively complete the conquest of Tamriel, begun over 500 years earlier, when Akavir attacked Tamriel in the 270 third year of the First Era. They had been beaten back by the Riemann dynasty. Now they had a potentate on the throne, and with Daenerys Vest's machinations, the local armies would also be Akaviri. What they had failed to do by combat, they would have successfully accomplished by patience. Many scholars suggest this was a traditional stratagem of the immortal snakemen, the Saisi of Akavir, who always had time on their side. The point, however, is largely academic, though the Sifim did establish themselves in some kingdoms neighboring Cyrodiil. It became quickly apparent that local warriors were needed. Part of the problem was simply that there were not enough Akaviri for the work that needed to be done. Another part was that the snakemen did not understand the geography and politics of the regions they were assigned. It was evident that some non-Akaviri were needed in the Sifim, and by the midpoint of the year, 3 Nords, a warrior sorceress, a rogue, and a knight were admitted into the order. The knight, whose name has been lost in the sands of time, was also a great armorer and probably did more to strengthen the organization than anyone but Daenerys Vess himself, as has often been stated. The Akaviri, particularly the Saisi, understood weaponry better than armor. Oh my god, it's actually very big. Even if they could not wear it themselves, the knight was able to explain to the other Sifim the weaknesses in their opponent's armor, explaining to them how many joints there were in a pauldron and a greave, is what you wear in the legs, and the differences between akatons and armcashens, gorgets and glitchims, pallets and passguards, tabards and tassets. With this knowledge, they made long strides in defeating the brigands, doing far better than their meager numbers would suggest. It is a joke among historians that if Akabir had a Nord armor in their employ in the First Era, they would have won the invasion. The success of these first 3 outsiders to the Sifim opened the door for more loyal local members. Before the year was through, Daenerys Vess had spread his business throughout the empire. Young men and women joined his new order en masse for a variety of reasons, including desperate poverty, love of action and adventure, or simply to aid their crime-stricken neighbors. They received training and were immediately put to work, helping the aristocracy's problems, assuming the roles of guards and soldiers within their locality. The early success of the Sifim in combating crime and defeating local monsters so inspired potentate Versi Duché that he entertained representatives from other organizations interested in imperial sanction, though formed much earlier. The Mages Guild had always been viewed with suspicion by the government. In the 321st year of the Second Era, the potentate gave his approval to the Guild's Act, officially sanctioning the mages together with the guilds of tinkers, cobblers, prostitutes, scribes, architects, brewers, sprinters, weavers, rust catchers, blah blah blah, warriors, cooks, astrologers, healers, tailors, minstrels, barristers, and the Sifim. In the charter, they were no longer called the Sifim. However, owing to the name it had become known as by the people, they were to be called the Fighters Guild. Okay, all the guilds and those that followed by later sanctions would be protected and encouraged by the Empire of Cyrodiil, recognizing their value to the people of Tamriel. All would be required to pay to expand their influence throughout the land. The empire was strengthened by their presence, and the imperial coffers were filled once again. Shortly after Versidushe's death, only 3 years after the Guild Act, his heir Severian Chorak allowed the reforming of local armies. The Fighters Guild was no longer the principal arm of the local aristocracy, but their worth had already been established. Though there were certainly strong individuals who sought their own fortunes in the past, many historians have suggested that Daenerys Vess was the ancestor in spirit of the modern phenomenon of the adventurers, those men and women who dedicate their lives to questing for fame and fortune. Thus all owe a debt of gratitude to the Fighters Guild, not only its members, but also the people who have been helped by its neutral policy of offering strong arms for a fee within the boundaries of the law. Without them, there would be no guilds of any kind, and it may be argued No model for the independent adventurer. So this was here. The guild book was here somewhere. And yeah, history of the Fighters Guild this was. So the Fighters Guild, what we learned was known as Sifim, the old word for Fighters Guild. Godet Farm. Infected by zombies here, this area. Godet Farmhouse. No one inside, of course. Think they flee. Merovic's Folly discovered. Gloria Foster is here.
Saving the day again, huh? Can't say I'm surprised. But I'm not about to let you have all the glory. There ought to be enough here for both of us.
Wander Maron Alice.
Ah, a new recruit. If you're here to help, we could certainly make use of you.
Looking for Angoth.
Aren't we all, my friend? Aren't we all? We might be able to assist each other, but we have some other business to take care of first. We're dealing with a literal undead uprising. Our patrols sweep the wilds, while our primary wizard, Gabriel Benele, searches for a magical relic that will help. But I'm concerned. Some of our patrols haven't returned.
You want me to find the missing patrols?
The Lion Guard doesn't usually seek help outside its ranks, but these are desperate times. Do what you can to help any patrols you encounter. And if you run into Mage Benele, maybe you can help her out as well.
It's Gabriel Benele is the author of that lore book, who was explaining the events of Glenumbra. I'll look for the missing patrols and the mage.
Stendar bless you.
I have a few
Tell you
questions.
what I can.
Where should I check for your patrols?
In hindsight, I may have spread the patrols too thin. I sent them to patrol the grounds around the redoubt, to protect the Godet farm, and to guard the western ruins at Merovic's Folly.
Tell me more about Gabriel Benele.
Wizard Benele is here on behalf of the Mages Guild. She claims there's a relic in the ruins that will help us defeat Angoth, but magic is so unpredictable. And, truth be told, Wizard Benele can be easily distracted.
Why don't you go after Angoth?
Oh, I'd love to, but there's some kind of barrier protecting the crypts at Cathedral. Unless Wizard Benele can get us through that barrier, we can't get to Angoth, and the undead will just keep coming.
See a book here, or a page. Ebon Crypt. My dear Vania, the situation has turned grave out here. I can't go into details right now, but know that I'm doing everything that I can to keep myself safe. I have not been injured, though I have seen some action. The moors and Kingsguard are rife with old ruins, tombs, and other ancient places. On my next rest period, I will see if I can find any valuables in one of the nearby ruins. My friend Maroy was telling tales of Cathedral, and some old crypt he claims is somewhere nearby. It is called Ebon Crypt or some suitably gloomy name like that. I plan to return to you with a nice bauble we can sell to create a little nest egg for ourselves. The dead can't do anything with the gold that's buried with them, but we could surely use it. I'll write again when I can, Ambrel. Ah, Ebon Crypt discovered. I see. There you go. This is the Ebon Crypt. It's a delve. Okay. Alright, so search outside radar, search Marvik's Folly. Okay. Land got stunned. Okay. The land gods. Origin of the Mages Guild, very interesting. Origin of the Mages Guild, Verenian edition. By Archmage Salart. The idea of a collection of major sorcerers and assorted mystics pooling their resources and talents for the purpose of research and public charity was a revolutionary concept in the early years of the Second Era. The only organization then closest in aim and structure to what we know today as the Mages Guild was the Sijic Order of the Isle of Artea. At the time, the magic was something to be learned by individuals or at most within intimate covens. Mages were, if not actually hermits, usually quite solitary. The Sijic Order served the rulers of Somerset Isle as counselors, and chose its members through a complex ritualized method not understood by outsiders. Its purposes and goals likewise weren't unpublished, and detractors attributed the worst evils as the source of the Order's power. Actually, the religion of the Old Order could be described as ancestor worship, an increasingly unfashionable philosophy in the Second Era. When Vanus Galerian, a Sijic of Arteum and student of the famed Icasis, began collecting magic users from around Somerset Isle, he attracted the animosity of all. He was operating out of the urban center of Firsthold, and there was a common and not entirely unfounded attitude that magical experiments should be conducted only in unpopulated areas. Even more shocking, Galerian proposed to make magical items, potions, and even spells available to any member of the general public who could afford to pay. No longer was magic to be limited either to the aristocracy or intelligentsia. Galerian was brought before the Icasis and the king of Firsthold, Relis the 12th. Oh, we will see who Relis the 12th is later on, and made to state that the intentions of the fraternity he was forming. The fact that Galerian's speech to Relis and Icasis was not recorded for posterity is doubtless a tragedy, though it does afford opportunity for historians to amuse one another with speculation about the lies and persuasions Galerian might have used to found the ubiquitous organization. The charter, at any rate, was approved. Almost immediately after the guild was formed, the question of security had to be addressed. The Isle of Arteum did not require forces of arms to shield it from invaders. When the Sijic Order does not wish someone to land on the isle, it and all its inhabitants simply become insubstantial. The new Mages Guild, by contrast, had to hire guards. Galerian soon discovered what the Tamrielic nobility has known for thousands of years. Money alone does not buy loyalty. The Knightly Order of the Lamp was formed the following year. Like a tree from an acorn, the Mages Guild grew branches all over Somerset Isle and gradually the mainland of Tamriel. There are numerous records of superstitious or sensibly fearful rulers forbidding the guild in their domains, but their heirs eventually recognized the wisdom of allowing the guild free reign, and the Mages Guild has become a powerful force in Tamriel, a dangerous foe if a somewhat disinterested ally. There have been only a few rare incidents of the Mages Guild actually becoming involved in local political struggles. On these occasions, the guild's participation has been the ultimate decider in the conflict. As begun by Vanus Galerian, the Mages Guild as an institution is presided over by a supreme council of 6 archmagisters. Each guild hall is run by a magister, assisted by a twofold council, the perquisitor and the master Palatinus, who is also the leader of the local chapter of the Order of the Lamp. One need not be a member of the Mages Guild to know that this carefully contrived hierarchy is often nothing more than a chimera. As Vanus Galerian himself said bitterly, leaving Tamriel to travel to other lands, the guild has become nothing more than an intricate morass of political infighting. Interesting. Loaded farm. Oh, there.
Disgusting creatures. Thanks for dispatching them for me. Thank you.
And always.
important to discuss, but not here. It's not safe. Meet me at the way shrine near the Lion Guard redoubt. It's safer there.
Okay. Okay. Bill Take Croc. Blight Croc, what's his name? Go to the redoubt way shrine, okay. What does he want to discuss?
Thank Kennereth I found you. You don't know how many people I have met have been torn apart by these cultists and their creatures.
Go around, tell me what's going on.
I was with Wizard Benelay at the nearby Maravek's Folly, looking for an important relic. When the undead attacked us, we were forced to retreat, but the mage swore she was close to finding something. She did some magic thing and vanished.
She just vanished?
She said that a nearby crypt contained a relic we needed to defeat Angoff. I would have remained by her side, but she just disappeared. I told Commander Ailes what happened, and he said I should find you and let you know.
Any ideas what the crypt is, what the crypt she talked about might be?
The crypt's got to be somewhere near the ruins of Maravek's Folly. She kept a journal that she was constantly writing in. I'm sure it contains the location of the crypt.
Okay.
Our camp is west of the redoubt. Her journal is probably still there.
What can you tell me about Wizard Benella?
Wizard Benelay is nice enough, but she's not very sensible. She barely looked up from her books and scrolls, even when the fighting got intense. Oh, she'd paused long enough to zap a zombie that wandered too close, but otherwise she was oblivious.
I'll check the campsite and find the Wizard Benella.
Stranger, aid me.
And Sir Malik Nasir.
Blood of the forebears. Hengoff's minions are relentless.
What happened here?
We were working with the wizard Benelay. I lost track of her when the zombies attacked. Now I'm the only one left. These cultists are desecrating our dead. It's an affront to Tawaka. But my wounds slow my sword.
I can aid you. What needs to be done?
Blood thorns desecrate the Lion Guard soldiers killed in the ruins. They raise them as zombies. If you use my sacred emblem, you can sanctify the corpses. That will prevent them from being raised as undead.
I'll do as you request. Sanctify dead soldiers in Maravek's Folly. Huh? The Lunar Lorcan. By Faljon, I'll not go into the varying accounts of what happened at the Adamantine Tower, nor will I relate the war of manifest metaphors that rendered those stories unable to support most qualities of what is commonly known as narrative. We all have our favorite Lorcan story and our favorite Lorcan motivation for the creation of Nirn, well as our favorite story of what happened to his heart. But the theory of the Lunar Lorcan is of special note. In short, the moons were and are the two halves of Lorcan's flesh divinity. Like the rest of the gods, Lorcan was a planet that participated in the great construction, except for the 8 lent portions of the heavenly bodies to create the mortal plane. Lorcan's was cracked asunder, and his divine spark fell to Nirn as a shooting star to impregnate it with the measure of its existence at a reasonable amount of selfishness. Mater and Secunda therefore are the personifications of the dichotomy, the club and duality, according to RTM, that Lorcan legends often rail against ideas of the anima's good, evil, being, nothingness, the poetry of the body, throat, and moan silences the abortive, and so on, all in this all set in the night sky as Lorcan's constant reminder to his mortal issue of their duty. Followers of his theory that all other heart stories are mythical degradations of the true origin of the moons, and it needn't be said that they observe hollow crescent theory as well. Some vague lore about the origins of Nirn, but I read it anyways. Sir Malik Nasir. Where is he? Oh, he's on the other side. Oh. I'll do the Gabriel Bennell. Gabriel Bennell's journal. The talisman is here, I'm certain of it. My research indicates that these hills hide the Midnight Talisman. A relic, I believe, is the key to defeating Angolf, and my further investigations have enabled me to determine the exact hiding place. I know that Commander Marone won't like it, but this opportunity is too good to let pass. I need to retrieve the talisman. There is no time to waste. I believe that the crypt within the cliff face to the north of our camp serves as the talisman's final resting place. Unfortunately, our camp is under assault. Undead creatures relentlessly attack us from all sides. The Lion Guard soldiers grow weary with each assault they repel. I'll order them to return to the redoubt in the morning. If we make it to the morning, then I'll head for that cave to the north. Find the crypt. I see where the crypt is. Here. Is
I hate meeting new people when I'm not at my best. Is my hair all right? Are my robes on straight?
Commander Alice sent me to help you.
Commander Ailes? A
Oh,
good man
Alice.
and a good soldier. But how did you find me?
You left your journal at the camp.
I did? I knew I left my journal somewhere. But I haven't told you the most exciting news. I found the Midnight Talisman. With it, we can punch a hole in Angolf's barrier at Cathedral. We just need to recharge the beautiful little relic.
What's the Midnight Talisman?
Do you like the name? I thought it up myself. Sounds simply ominous, doesn't it? Anyhow, it's a Daedric relic used to manipulate Oblivion portals. If you know how, you can use the talisman to get past arcane barriers. And I know how.
Oh, this talisman is the key to defeating Angolf?
The talisman would be the key to defeating Angolf. If its power wasn't depleted. We need to recharge the talisman. Then we'll finally get our chance to deal with Angolf and take the battle to him. I have a ritual that can recharge the talisman and restore its power. There's an ancient weird site on the beach near here. We can use that as the focus for the ritual.
You're injured. Can you travel?
I just need to rest for a bit. Then I can get myself there and still have enough power for the ritual. Here, take the talisman and head on down. I'll meet you there.
I'll meet you at the ritual site.
You made it. No zombie bites or anything.
Can you explain what we're about to do?
I found an inscription in the crypt. It described the relic in remarkable detail. Apparently, the talisman can draw energy from the land itself. Ancient magic saturates this site. It's the perfect place to perform the ritual of recharging.
So what happens next?
I perform the ritual. You stand there and look heroic. Simple? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here goes nothing.
Okay.
It's done, but something's not right.
What
That didn't seem right.
what happened? Are you alright?
The ritual worked, but something awful looked at me while I was channeling energy into the relic. I think there's something trapped inside the talisman.
There's something inside the talisman?
Whatever's inside the relic, it's certainly not friendly. We can try to dispel it using the weird revelation stone in the circle just up the beach. Put the talisman on the stone and kill whatever emerges. That will do the trick.
I'll kill it. What about you?
Just getting down here tired me out more than it should have. I know you can handle whatever's inside the talisman. I'm pretty sure it's just a Banekin or a lesser scamp.
Put the talisman on the stone and kill whatever comes out of it. Got it. Oh, the Daedric entity. Okay. Revelation pool.
I see you, little mortal. I've guarded this talisman for untold centuries, and you hope to purge me from it? Never. I will personally send you back to Molag Bal.
You did it! Wings of Akatosh! What was that thing?
Said Dramora. Kinriv. Aronas. Malik's sacred emblem. This emblem uses the blessing of the Eight to consecrate the dead. And the Midnight Talisman. This ancient Daedric relic is made of rich ebony and encrusted with depleted soul gems.
Julianos, I was wrong about how powerful the thing in the talisman was. My apologies.
It was a Dramora. Is the talisman alright?
Dremora? Oh, those are bad. Sorry. At least it's gone and we can use the talisman now. I have enough energy to open a portal for both of us to use. Are you ready to return to the redoubt?
I'm ready. I'll return the quest to Malik. Sir Malik Nasir.
In return, have Angof's minions fallen before your wrath?
I did as you asked.
You've done good and holy work. Troubled souls must be put to rest, so they do not rise again. You have my thanks for taking care of this for me.
No worries.
I provide a service. I supplement what the soldiers receive, for a price. If you're interested, I'd be happy to show you my wares.
Healer Alazan.
The wounds inflicted by Angof's minions fester rapidly. They're difficult to heal.
Good luck out there.
Done.
I hope Wizard Benole knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Saving the day again, huh? Can't say I'm surprised.
I'm a Joe of the Dragon.
Against the Knights of the Covenant, the Lion Guard, and you, Angof doesn't stand a chance.
I hope. Sir Gib of the Dragon.
We'll beat this Angof, claim glory for the king, and return home victorious.
Sir Lanny Sheldon. So he was the first guy who introduced us, who invited basically the king Tazgol from Betnik. When we came to Daggerfall, he was the first guy we talked to.
The great King Casimir sent us to stop Angof. With the combined might of the dragons, the Lion Guard, and you, Angof will surely fall.
I hope.
This is it. All our work has led to this.
What's the next step?
We're ready to confront Angof and destroy him. Thanks to you, he won't be able to hide from us now. I told Sir Lannis what happened out there. You should introduce yourself when you get a chance.
Gabriel's staff of healing for purging the Midnight Talisman and restoring its power. Mage Gabriel Benel awarded this healing staff.
Over here, we have much to discuss.
Won't anybody help me?
The Spindle Clutch Expedition. Guardians with Harim. Expedition leader Praxindor. Expedition lieutenant. Guardians with Harim, aided by Praxindor, will lead a small expedition of Hiders Guild mercenaries to investigate the caves designated as Spindle Clutch. Rumors have circulated that abnormally large spiders infest the caves. Should the creatures prove threatening, the expedition is hereby ordered to eradicate them with prejudice. Okay. We're gonna finish here for today. Thanks for joining.